Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today, this video, I don't know, I just wanted to make this video because I've seen a couple of these videos already on YouTube, and it wasn't until recently when I saw somebody else posted a video like this that it just like dawned on me that I had such a good story for making this video that I completely forgot about. And so I wanted to sit down and make this and share it with you because I have some opinions about it as well. Also, if it starts to look different, like the view looks different, I'm filming half this on my phone because my camera is over there charging because I don't keep it charged very well. Yeah, but anyways, so this can be a pretty controversial topic, and it's one of those topics in the horse world I think that nobody actually wants to talk about, is if you are too fat to be riding horses or if you're too big to ride horses. Because, I mean, no one ever really puts a label on it, but we are sitting on these animals' backs and making them, jump and run and stuff like that. So we do need to take into consideration our size and the size of our horse as well, which, I mean, sometimes nobody wants to actually come to conclusion with themselves that they might be too big or too heavy for a horse, or maybe they need to graduate to a bigger horse. So if you haven't watched my full riding story video, I would suggest watching that. Like, pause this video and we'll go watch that, because I don't think the full extent will come across to how much time I spent at this place I'm going to be talking about. I'm sorry, I kind of had to burp. But I'm going to be talking about the ranch that I used to work at, and I feel like in that video I explain a lot more how much time I spent there and how important the ranch was to me at one time. So if you haven't watched that, I would pause this and go watch that video. If you have seen that video, you guys will know that I used to work at a horse ranch, and it was a smaller horse ranch, nothing huge, very local small town ranch, and they had about 40 horses, so again, not huge at all or anything. But this ranch was run by people who are very set in their ways and do things the way they do them, and they are not open to anyone else's opinion and don't try different things or anything like that. So, yeah, I haven't worked at this ranch for a long time. I left probably like 3 years ago now, I want to say, which it doesn't seem like that long, but I left the ranch for various reasons that I explained in my riding story video, but this situation kind of like topped it off. So a lot of people that don't work at the ranch don't really know the like behind the scenes stuff. So on the ranch's website, there's like no bad reviews. Like, no one ever leaves a bad review, because most of the time the people that ride there are just public people that come out for a trail ride, and they don't really know anything about horses. So they don't really have anything bad to review because they don't actually know what they're seeing every day. So there's really no bad reviews on the ranch's page. And I don't know, one day I was just like scrolling through their page or whatever to see if they'd put anything new on there, and I saw this 1-star review. So I clicked on it, and I was just curious what it said, so I'll read it to you guys. Okay, so sorry if it looks different, I just switched to my camera. So basically, the review on, okay, let me make it clear first. The ranch has they have to have regulations and rules for the safety of their horses. So the weight limit is 240 pounds, which if you look it up, there's some articles and whatnot that say a horse should carry about 20% of their body weight. So a 1,200 pound animal, like 240 pounds is close to around there. So if you weigh more than 240 pounds, they don't let you ride the regular horses. You have to ride the Belgian. So yeah, they have a Belgian named Minnie, and basically if you're over 240 pounds, you have to ride the Belgian because you're too big for the regular horses. So I saw this review of the ranch that this girl left. So I'm gonna read it to you. She said, I called to make reservations for my birthday. She had an opening. I weighed 210 pounds, maybe 215. She told me I weighed too much and would have to see me first. I live an hour away. I am athletic and not a wimp. I have ridden all my life. I do not own horses now and thought I would go spend a day where I was a Girl Scout and a counselor and bring back some memories. Apparently they need a horse that can carry a small 5'2" woman who is a little overweight. I will let all of my friends on Facebook know that I was offered a Clydesdale to ride. A quarter horse would have been sufficient. I will take my money somewhere else. This happened to me on this date. And when I saw that, I was just like, girl, good for you. It's about damn time somebody said something because, okay. And well, the ranch had the audacity to reply to her review, and they said this. At this point, our horses have worked hard for 9 weeks of girls' camp, and they have started to feel the effects of heat that we have been having as we have many older horses since we keep them for their lifetime. We offer minimal weekend rides during the summer to try to keep our horses as healthy as possible for camp, since that is our main focus during the summer. So we limit not only the weight, but also the young little kids who are inexperienced and require older horses to ride. We have our set guidelines because we care and compassion for our horses as they become a part of our family for a lifetime. If anyone has any other concerns on this matter, please refer to our FAQ page on our website. As it is, okay, yeah, and the rest doesn't matter. So basically, that's what they said, and I was like, wow. Wow, guys, really? Really? So I know the girl that probably told her, the girl who answers the phone at the ranch, because you have to call to make reservations to ride there so they know how many people are coming that day. And I could totally see her saying that. I was like, oh my God, I could totally see her saying that. So what I didn't understand was that she's not over the weight limit. Like, why did they, she said a Clydesdale, but Minnie is a Belgian. She just referred to her as a Clydesdale in this post. And I was like, why would they offer her to ride Minnie? Like, she said that she's athletic, but in my opinion, I don't really see a 5'2" woman who weighs 215 to be really athletic. But regardless, a 5'2", that's shorter than me, but still 215 at most isn't that much weight. So I was like, why did they deny her? 240 pounds is still 30 pounds or whatever off from the weight limit. Why would, sorry, just shook my table. Why would they do that? So when I read their reply, she says in her reply, the ranch, sorry if I'm being confusing. In the ranch's reply, they have said, our horses have worked hard for 9 weeks of horse camp. They start to feel the effects of the heat. So yeah, in Iowa, it does get really hot here in the winter. The last couple summers it's been nice, but usually it's really, really hot. And like I said in my full riding story video, the ranch has a girls' summer horse camp during the week. They're only open on weekends to the public. So they have a girls' summer horse camp during the week. It's Monday through Thursday. And basically the girls do one ride a day. One ride, which usually is not any more than like an hour and a half tops. One trail ride. Just like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And I know because I've gone to their horse camp for several years and I helped at their camp. So, and the camp, let me just say, is for girls between 10 and 15 years old. So most of those girls, let's go with like 95% of those girls, are like 80 to 130 pounds. That is not heavy. Okay, I probably weigh 120 and I'm 5'4". And my boyfriend even, you guys probably have seen Zach on this channel, he's like 220. And Soccer carries him with no problems. Soccer is about 16 years old, he will be this year, and literally carries Zach with absolutely no problems. 15 two-hand quarter horse. The ranch has very large horses. The Belgian, They have horses way bigger than soccer, several horses bigger than soccer and soccer's size. So the fact that they have the audacity to put, our horses have worked hard for 9 weeks of summer camp and they've felt the effects of the heat. Bull freaking shit, okay? Your horses that are working so hard, they're carrying 80-pound girls for an hour every day. Okay, and you're telling me that they're working so hard? Okay, because they're getting sweaty doesn't mean that they're like gonna fall over and have a heart attack because they're working so hard. They have plenty of horses that are perfectly capable of handling 210 pounds. Okay, that's not a lot of weight. That's like my dad. And my dad has ridden soccer so many times. So this girl was perfectly right when she said a quarter horse would have been efficient. Sorry, the lighting's being weird back there, but so yeah, she was 100% right. A quarter horse, many of their horses that I know there would have been completely fine for her to ride. It's ridiculous that, because they've always had the stigma at the ranch that the horses work so hard and they're just like, oh my god, they're so tired and they're gonna really, like, a 1 hour ride of trail riding for every day is not a lot of work. The horses I work with, and not to mention that these horses, like I've said in my riding story video, are very overweight. All of the horses there at the ranch are extremely fat, extremely fat, like cresty, like curved neck, like that's how fat they are. Their stomachs blow out. There's this one horse there, when you sit on her, it literally feels like you're sitting on a barrel. Like that's how round she is. Like there is no, like, this to your legs. It's so round. Their stomachs are just, they're fat horses, like 200-300 pounds overweight fat horses. And you're telling me that they work so hard every day in the summer? Those horses need worked. They need to be they need to trot and canter a little bit to freaking shed some of that weight. What are you talking about? They work so hard. And the saddle weight, that's what they always said when I was there, plus the saddle weight. Okay, a saddle is like, what, 20 pounds? Not that much. Okay, hopefully that fixed the lighting a little bit. I'm trying to move over a little. But yeah, after I saw this, it just like it always makes me think about them when I see videos like that, because at the ranch there was nobody fat that worked there. We all pretty much weighed 140 at the most. So it always came across at the ranch like if you were over like 260 or like 160 or something, you were too fat to ride. And it pisses me off because in the actual equestrian world, now that I've left the ranch and actually work with horses and people all the time, there are so many people that are over 240 pounds, that's for sure, especially men. And their horses carry them around just fine. It was almost like when I was there, like the owner, she didn't understand that horses are mammals just like us humans, and mammals can gain muscle and gain endurance. And horses aren't just this way forever. They're not just gonna be fat forever. Like they can lose the weight and gain the muscle. If you carry, say if like soccer were to carry Zach around every day, he would be fine. Just like if you were to put a 30-pound weight in a backpack and go for a run up and down the road every day it will get easier for you. You will build that endurance. You will get used to it. Every day it'll become a little bit easier because you're used to carrying 30 pounds on your back every day. Same goes for horses. People, like, just because your animal carries a 80-pound girl, 100-pound girl every day in the summer and gets pretty sweaty because it's hot, well, that doesn't mean they're dying, okay? That means maybe they're gonna need a big drink of water later. And I understand horses can get overheated and fall over, but these horses are not gonna do that, okay? They're perfectly healthy horses that need to work out. Put a 300-pound person on that. They have this one horse named Diablo, and he is huge, like 16'2" maybe. Hand, paint, quarter horse, huge muscles. He's a big horse, and he would have absolutely no problem carrying a big dude. He's obviously out of shape and fat and overweight and unhealthy, so obviously it's hard for him right now, but it's not gonna kill him, okay? He actually needs that. So yeah, it just drives me nuts when people are like that. And make other people feel bad or feel less because they're too fat to ride horses. If you have a horse that is big enough for you, ride as much as you freaking want, okay? Obviously, if you're over 200 pounds, I don't want to see you riding a little pony, or I will probably chew you out. But if you have a horse that is sufficient enough for your weight and has no trouble carrying you, then Jesus Christ, just ride as much as you want. Sugar, even, she's probably like 14 hands. She carried around my friend, I call her Maria on this channel. She carried her around just fine. She had no problems. And I don't think the ranch ever understood that horses are work animals. They are labor animals. That's what they have been bred for throughout evolution, is labor and work. And back in the day, in the pioneer days, they were hauling those carriages for days and packing on loads of freaking cargo or whatever for days. And horses in the wild walk for miles and miles and miles every day. You are not going to hurt your horse by strapping on some pounds for 1 hour and giving them a good ride, okay? I had to fix the lighting a little back there. But, what was I even saying? Okay, so if you have a horse that is sufficient enough for your size, I don't really think that there's really a size you can put on horseback riding other than, you know, if you're like 500 pounds or something. But, yeah, I think, you know, if you see somebody that is obviously way too big for a horse, such as a very large person on a little pony, it might not hurt to say something to them, like, you shouldn't be riding that horse or something, politely, obviously, but especially if it's your business, such as the ranch, don't be rude and blunt about something like that. Like, that's how you lose customers and lose clients. And I wasn't surprised that she said that to that person, but I'm glad that they actually put it on the internet for anyone to scroll by to see, because that is exactly how they are there, and it's ridiculous. And there should be no discrimination in the horse world based on who you are and how you are, and anyone should be open to ride horses and be able to ride horses if they want to do that, because the horses offer so many great things that we're able to do. Obviously, I think you should be a little bit fit to ride horses. Like, you should have strength, obviously, to hold yourself on the horse. But if you're working with horses at all in general, you should have strength, because, you know, horses are obviously very strong animals, much stronger than us. But you don't have to be like ripped Mr. Stud over here, 150 pounds, that the horse can carry all day long. But yeah, I guess I don't understand why people have to discriminate against each other in the horse world based on your size, because it's ridiculous. And just get over yourself. It's not your horse, and especially, you don't know how long that person's had that horse, so they might be very well used to carrying them. And it's funny when people are too big for horses, everyone has something to say about it, but there's like stick figures that ride horses, okay? There's like little, I don't know, high schooler, little like arms like this big that ride horses and can't control their horses, and their horses are way too strong for them. And it worries me that if they fall off, they're going to break something from falling off, or, you know, but nobody has something to say about them, that you're too weak or you're too little to ride a horse, but this person's just way too fat, so let's just get rid of them. Like, but that was just kind of my thoughts on the matter, and yeah, that's where I used to work. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I don't really associate with them anymore. Not that they're bad people or anything. Like I said, they're just set in their ways, and I don't know. I explained some of it in my riding story video, how I didn't think they knew what they were talking about all the time, but that's just my opinion. I'm sure if they ever see this, they'll disagree, and that's totally fine. But just worry about yourself, guys. Honestly, if it doesn't concern you, and if the horse isn't gonna fall over and die right in front of your eyes, then don't worry about it. The horse is probably fine. They're probably used to that person on them. So yeah. ride horses if you want to ride horses. All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching. That's my opinion on fat people riding horses, I guess. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day or night, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.